Right, this is a quick video to show you how to install these pin headers for the 4 GB Corona using the custom cables that are intended for use with the SD tool here and the new USB SD tool, which is going to be available next week. As you can see, these pin headers are quite small and they don't take a lot of heat, so you want to get them on as quickly as possible. But they are a perfect fit for the pin headers, for the pads. Alright, so if I just show you here, now we only use, if you're using the SD tool, we only use a certain number of pins on here, being pin 16, pin 14, pin 6 is ground for the cable, also pin 4 is ground, but for the cable it's actually wired to 6, so if you accidentally bridge these two it doesn't matter. And then we've got pin 2 here, and this side you have pin 1, pin 3 there, pin 11 and pin 13, and they are the pins that we need to connect. And as you can see here, this is an old board of mine, and there is solder on the pads here. Now ideally you want them to be flat for easy installation of this, so I'm going to remove that with some flux. I'm not being shy with the use of the flux because I do clean up afterwards. And some copper braid, which I have here. It should be enough. Just gently heat it up, move it over, and that'll soak up the... And be careful not to hit these resistors here. If you don't use enough flux, you'll get stuck like that. Don't keep it moving around either. Be careful not to knock these resistors off as well. I think I've pretty much filled that up now. Right, so that's flat enough. I'm not going to put any more flux on there because there's enough on there at the moment. So what I suggest, if you've got some flat-nosed tweezers like this, they're ideal because you can get a nice purchase on the pin header. Line it up, try and get it as straight as you can. See, I'm not doing a very good job of it. There you go. Spot on-ish. I'll go over a little bit more. There you go. Use your fingers. And then get some solder on the tip of your iron. What you want to do here, you don't want to flood it with solder, you just want to dab it on. Move that again. There we go. Just to get the corner tacked down, and then when you've done that you can go and do the other side. Try not to move it too much. It's got a little bit of play in it, but don't move it too much because you will rip that pad off there. And that's a lot firmer than it was. So we've got 16 attached, we've got 2 attached. So I'm going to dab 14, bit of solder there, and then I said number 6, which is there, bit more solder. So 6, and I've done 4, I don't know why, I didn't need to. So you've got 6, 2, 16 and 14, and if we switch round the board, just focus that in a bit more. Excuse me. So let's go down and tack the other side. So again, solder on the tip of your iron. And this side we have pin 1 there, pin 3 next to it. Can't really see that. Pin 3 and pin 11 and pin 13. Now I would also suggest just soldering these other pins down. They're not going to make a connection, but what they will do is keep that pin header a lot more secure. But do be careful not to bridge these points, because if you do, if you get a bridge underneath the pin header, it's going to be a bugger to get it off. Take my word for it. Right, now I'm just going to clean that up very quickly. So you can get a better picture of what it looks like. So I'm pretty confident I could pick the board up with that if I wanted to. I'm not going to do it because it's just stupid. Now I would suggest you also check with a multimeter that each pin that you've soldered that you need to use is connected, and also that you don't have any bridges. I mean, it shouldn't really, well, it will matter. Don't bridge. And the cable goes on. I can find it. The cable has a red line going down it, which denotes pin 1, which is right there. So the red cable goes there, and just line this up, get it even. You don't need to force it. If it's not going down freely, then check your pins are all straight, press it down, and that is job done. And all that leaves you to do is to connect the other end to either your SD tool or the new USB SD tool. Thanks for watching.